For the very first time in Antler Sports Network history, we're heading to Shelby County for high school football action. Hello, everybody. Jared Jones here with KBMM's Mike McCary for a little bit of a simulcast, a little bit of a mix-up, if you will. It's homecoming at Raymond Jackson Stadium, also known as the Pit. Opened back in the early 70s. Maximum capacity 1,635. A stadium named after the 1998 1A state championship winning head coach. On homecoming, they will be hosting the Tigers of Linden-Kildare. A bit of a mystery into this game, led by head coach Jeremy Hogan, who also takes the moniker of the team's head baseball coach. So interesting to see what the blue and white Tigers have in store for us tonight. Jared Jones again here with Mike McCary. Pleasure to be with you here at Ray J. Mike, you're a Deep East Texas guy based out of St. Augustine. You know how important games like this are. It's the last game before district play for both ball clubs, so very important to set the tone going into the most important time of the year. What are you expecting from both of these teams tonight?
Well, I expect with Tenaha, they've got a hard district.
Indeed, they do.
With Alto, you've got Mount Enterprise that just took down Shelbyville. That looks like the leader coming out of our district with St. Augustine. Very tough team. Very tough teams all across the board, really. You've got Cushing, you've got Mount Enterprise, Overton, Grapeland, and Lovelady, who is state ranked, losing to Garrison last night, a good Garrison team. But Tenaha, they need to come out and get a win and get some type of movement before they go to district, because that is a hard district. On the other hand, Linden-Kildare, that district is not that good.
Pretty much the other side of the spectrum, the opposite side of the coin, if you would.
Every team out of all the teams in that district, one team, Cumbie Trojans, they have 2 wins. The rest of them do not have a win yet.
So pretty much wide open. Anybody can take that district.
And with the events that's happened at Linden-Kildare, they need to get some type of movement going into district. I mean, it's going to be hard. I mean, they went through training camp with their previous head coach, different system. You know, it's going to be hard changing coaches 2 weeks in. So
a regime change is always tough, whether that be from the offseason heading into a new year, let alone heading into a new week. So it's fair to say continuity is going to be the name of the game for these Linden-Kildare Tigers. You have to get something going, some type of consistency, and build a culture, especially now. It's now more than ever. This is probably the last game you can lose in this district. But, Mike, one thing that you brought up, and I can't harp on this enough, for Linden-Kildare, that district is wide open. 2A Division II, Region 3, District 9. Sims Bowie, of course, the Tigers of Linden-Kildare, Clarksville, Celeste, Detroit, and Maud, all winless.
Now, you know, when district starts, it's 0-0 again.
Indeed it is. It's a whole new season. We'll continue our pregame coverage with kickoff and more coming up from the Antler Sports Network family of platforms. This is Texas High School Football.
Give it everything at Pelche Key and Tyler, where tough never quits.
When my Marco's craving hits, it really hits. And with unlimited medium one-topping pizzas for $6.99 each, I can cover tonight's cravings and tomorrow's. Nice. Marco's. Pizza lovers, get it. Feast your eyes on Marco's Pepperoni Magnifico. Fresh dough made daily, topped with our signature sauce. 3 real cheeses, classic pepperoni, plus crispy cupped Old World pepperoni. Pure pepperoni perfection for just $9.99, but for a limited time only.
Everything at Pelche Kia and Tyler. We're tough, never quit.
Coin toss transpiring just moments ago. Linden-Kildare, the visiting team, won the toss and elected to defer to the second half. So that looks like we are moments away, set to go here from Tiger Land. Jared Jones, Mike McCary from KBMM. Happy to be with you for this special edition of Saturday Night High School Football. Last time the Antler Sports Network held high school football on a Saturday night was just 2 years ago, not too far, at Abe Martin Stadium in the city of Lufkin. It was a neutral site matchup between the Lumberton Raiders and the Tatum Eagles. Coach Whitney Keeley and company getting the victory in the home of the Lufkin Panthers. Looking to see if we'll have a game of that magnitude tonight. Mike, we talked about in the postgame how important this game can be. Tenaha gets the ball first. What do you expect from the Maroon Tigers in their opening possession?
I know they have some speed. I know they're going to try to run it down Linden-Kildare's neck. So let's see if they can do it. Let's see if Linden-Kildare can get a stop.
Kicking off for Linden-Kildare is going to be number 69, John George, the senior. Back deep to receive. It's going to be an onside kick. Is it going to get to midfield? It does. The ball is live. Looks like Linden-Kildare is going to get the football.
Tenaha, they were just sitting there looking at it. I mean, that's not good starting a game for their own homecoming.
That is a gutsy call by Coach Hogan and company to begin the game as we take another look via our SportScope instant replay. And now it's going to be 1st and 10 ball on the Tenaha 49. Linden-Kildare going to take possession first. LK, the visiting team, and their visiting white tops, blue bottoms, Under Armour branded, plain white tops with a blue stripe and blue numerals, blue lettering and numerals on the jersey. Dropping the snap and still looking forward is Keegan Sailors, who's going to run, maybe get a yard or so. Tackled by a host of Tenaha Tigers. First to get there was going to be number 11, Christian Sparks, the senior running back / linebacker. So, all right, now we have a bit of a second to breathe and accept what's happening here coming up on the 2nd and 8.
I didn't expect that. Now, the eye test, Linden-Kildare's outsized Tenaha on the lines in the trenches. I mean, they could win this battle if they. Oh,
there's a penalty flag. Some of the Tenaha Tigers pointing at the Linden-Kildare offensive line. It is a false start penalty called against Linden-Kildare, and that's going to push the Blue Tigers back. It's going to be confusing. Give us a nickel every time we say Tigers tonight.
In the previous snap, it snapped it real low. In this pre-snap penalty, it looks like kind of undisciplined, maybe?
Maybe so. Maybe just jitters. You go with a gutsy call on the kickoff as a pitch to the outside. Now bouncing is Ja'Cory Love. Love might have gotten a couple of yards. He's at midfield. That's going to be a gain of 2, and not much more than that. Now 3rd down in a country mile for Linden-Kildare, pretty much in no man's land. We've seen the receivers that they have. 2 receivers rostered that are at least 6'3" or taller. Might you expect them maybe try to take a shot through the air?
Yeah, but you've got 2 DBs that were 1st and 2nd team last year with Kenny, who's also the quarterback for Tenaha. They're pretty fiery down there in the secondary.
Here we go. Third down. Rolling out looking. Throwback shoulders almost picked off. It was deflected by Tenaha's number 5, Brakeelan Kenny, just as you brought him up. All district showing there. And now with the incompletion with 10:43 left to go in the first period, it's 4th down and about Gary to go for Linden-Kildare. Looks like we'll have a punting unit out on the field.
Midfield, winless, I would go for it. I mean,
you never know.
They just went for an onside kick, the first play of the game.
A gutsy call would not surprise me either, I'll tell you that. Caden Cooks back deep to receive for Tenaha. In to do the kicking is John George for Linden-Kildare. Giving the snap signal is going to be Keegan Sailors. There's a line drive kick. Heck of a kick. It's going to take a bounce around the 15, but go the opposite way. Linden-Kildare will down it. Looks like that's going to be placed at about the 26-yard line. 1st down and 10. And now the Tenaha Tigers getting their first offensive drive of the contest. Now we can officially say they're getting their first offensive drive of the contest.
Yes.
Don't see any onside kicks coming up now. But for the week that the Antler Sports Network has had, if you've checked out our broadcast just past Thursday, up by 20 over at Wildman Field, as the Arlington Seguin Cougars dismantled the Grapevine Mustangs, almost shut them out. We've seen fake punts. We've seen onside kicks. We've seen fake field goals. We've pretty much seen it all. But now we're going to see this Tenaha offense. Coming into this game, has beaten Linden-Kildare back in 2018 and 2019, 42-6 and 39-6 respectively. Both these teams knotted up in their all-time head-to-head since 04 at 2 wins apiece. Man in motion now. Kick of the heel is Kenny. Kenny drops back, has a man across the middle. It's called. No, it's dropped at midfield. Intended receiver is Seth Stokes, number 81. The big senior tight end was streaking across the middle of the field, just unable to haul it in. And now it's going to be 2nd and long at what probably could have been 6, Mike.
That would have been 6. He's a big boy, too. He was coming right over the middle.
Right down the train tracks, and sadly just couldn't get to the station as we take a second look at that incompletion.
I would go to him again.
Why not? I mean, if he's that wide open, especially if he has that size. 10:32 left to go in the first. Man in motion for Kenny yet again. Shotgun snap, empty backfield. Looking to his right, fade ball along the sideline. It's caught. It's caught. Still looking. Juking at the 45. Still with room. At midfield, it gets knocked out of bounds at the 49-yard line on the catch for Tenaha. As Avanta Fredu, the senior wide receiver defensive back, makes it happen. Move the chains. 1st down and 10, Tenaha.
There was nobody even 10, 15 yards close to him.
One thing about Kenny, he's not afraid to sling the football, and if you're Tenaha, you want to use that speed, get going early. So down it right at midfield with 10:20 left to go. Kenny now with the back, 4 out wide, 2 in the slot. He drops back. Quick bubble screen. Pitch and catch to Jatorian Moore. Moore gets to the 40, 35-30, gets bounced out at around the 32-yard line. Move the chains again. That's a solid gain of about 15. And Tenaha is seeming to fire on all cylinders here, Mike. Seem to caught that groove on offense in their first drive.
Linden-Kildare's DBs, they I don't know if they can. I don't think they had the speed to handle these wide receivers. I mean, they're getting 10, 15 yards a pass right
easily.
now.
And on their first read as well, Kenny is having a field day just going to his first read, and it's been open. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Ball to the 32 now. 9:40 left to go. Kenny, quick throw again. This time is going to be caught along the numbers by Caden Cooks. Cooks at the 20. Bounce out of bounds at around the 19-yard line. 1st and 10 yet again. They're going to mark it a gain of 13 down at the 19-yard line.
These defensive backs for Linden-Kildare, they're playing so far back.
I mean, you said it, Mike. They have so much speed. You have to try to find that happy medium. So maybe for a quarter or two, if you step back, give them some room, that might be your best bet. What do you think?
I think they're giving them too much room. It's a good 10 yards here.
At the top of your screen there, Kenny empty backfield again. It's going to be a fade ball front of the end zone. It's incomplete. Ball intended for Jatorian Moore. And there it is again. We see that the defensive back specifically on that one, Jarek Madison.
Madison, he was a little late, but it was a pretty good try. So
especially if you have Kenny making a pretty difficult pocket pass to the back of the end zone almost. Madison taking away that inside now with 9:14 left to go. It's going to be 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Both teams sitting on all 3 of their timeouts. Ball on the 18. First handoff of the game for Tenaha. It's going to be taken by Jacorian Love. Love still bouncing, rumbling, end zone, touchdown, Tenaha.
18-yard touchdown run. First run of the ball game.
And no flags, at least from our view as we scan the field. And yep, Tenaha's going to strike first on homecoming. He got pretty much down the field entirely off the pass. And how about that? An 18-yard run to finish it off and get on the board. Tenaha now leading over LK 6-0 in this Tiger fight.
That was Fredo, correct?
Indeed it is.
They didn't have him listed as a running back.
Well, we've seen Fredo, especially in their contest against Elysian Fields, played a little wide receiver and everything. PAT is through the uprights and good, but there is a penalty flag. Looks like they might just... Maybe they'll decline it, but I don't know. Coach Marlon Birdsong, we know he can make some gutsy calls. As the official now goes over to Coach Birdsong, and it looks like they are going to indeed decline it, or maybe... Not 100% sure. Of course, it is an offsides penalty called against Linden-Kildare. Looks like they're going to take this thing half the distance to the goal. Yes, they are. They're going to take advantage and try to shoot for two here. Ball is going to be on the 2-yard line. Well, pretty much the 1.5-yard line. Mike, this is interesting.
Well, Tenaha does love to go for two.
I mean, if you have the offensive stride that you've been in already with 9:05 still left to go in the first, why not go for it?
I mean, they're going down the field in chunks. I mean,
we saw passes for 10-plus yards almost every single play this drive, except for, of course, that 18-yard touchdown run by Fredo to finish off and give us where we are here at 6-0. As we await the PAT try now. Kenny. It's going to be a handoff to Fredo. Fredo bounce to the outside, has a lane, and he's in for two.
Tenaha is really making this look easy.
Indeed they are, Mike. Let's see if that strike will continue with 9:05 left to go in the first. Tenaha strikes first, and they strike quick. We'll take a 30-second timeout. We'll continue after this with 9:05. Tenaha 8, Linden-Kildare nothing. From the ASM family of platforms, this is Texas High School Football. Jared Jones, Mike McCary here with you at Raymond Jackson Stadium, home of the Tenaha Tigers on homecoming. These Tenaha Tigers, Mike, up 8-0 early, and as you said before the break, they're getting these yards in chunks.
They are. I mean, Linden-Kildare, they need to score now.
They have to.
Or momentum's going to stay on Tenaha's side. It's homecoming. They want to show out for all these people here. They need a score now, or this game may get ugly.
I 100% agree with you there, Mike. Is getting ready to boot things off for the black, maroon, and white clad Tenaha Tigers. Is going to be number 53. I'll check that number 52, Ciro Sandoval. Back deep to receive is going to be for Linden-Kildare, number 7, Braden Turner, as well as number 6, Wesley Stanley, one of the two captains for this Linden-Kildare team. Ball is kicked off. It's going to go out of bounds, and that'll give some extra yardage for Linden-Kildare. Now, Mike, you win for an onside kick on the opening kickoff. You got it back, but ended up going 4 and out after having the ball on the Tenaha 49. So you're showing that you can make the gutsy calls. You can make big decisions, and you can move down the field just a tad bit, but a penalty pushed them back some yards, and a couple of runs that went nowhere got some yards. So what do you think that huddle with Coach Jeremy Hogan and company consists of?
They need to tell them, you got to execute. You know, we're going to put you there. You got to execute. We'll see what happens.
9:05 left to go. 1st and 10 from the 30. Tenaha looking to send the heat, and they do. It's a draw play. Immediately stuffed is Jacorin Love. Love pretty much going absolutely nowhere. Couple of Tenaha Tigers on that one. It was Darian Kelly, the tight end / linebacking junior, as well as Ciro Sandoval, the sophomore defensive lineman. And this is what we have pretty much expected. It's going to be the size of Linden-Kildare versus the speed of Tenaha. Who's going to break first?
You know, that snap went to his feet again.
Indeed it did. That's the second or third one that we've seen. Now with 8.5 left to go, the Tigers of LK getting the call from the sideline after no gain. They confirm the play call. They got to get it off quickly here. 5 seconds left to go on the play clock. Wesley Stanley, the quarterback, looking befuddled, and it looks like we might have a Linden-Kildare timeout, and we do. And as they take that timeout, we'll take it with them. Still 8-0. It's all Tenaha so far. Linden-Kildare looking to respond. We'll take a 30-second timeout back after this. Nothing. Tenaha up here at home on homecoming with 8:15 left to go in the first. Linden-Kildare taking a timeout just moments ago before the break, wanting to talk things over on offense. Mike McCary, we've seen them frazzled. We've seen muff snaps. So maybe with this timeout, they have a chance to get themselves together, collect themselves, and put together a solid offensive drive.
They really need to. Right now, it's not looking too good.
As you said, Mike, a very important drive now. Wesley Stanley, the senior, and at quarterback. It's going to be a direct snap. Handoff now. We'll pitch out to Ja'Cory Love again. Love is going to gain around 4, but not much more than that. Tackle made once again by a host of Tenaha Tigers, led by number 8. That's Fridu again. And one thing I want to point out, Mike, about this Tenaha defense, they don't tackle with just one player.
No. Their D-line is undersized, but they're pushing these big boys from Linden-Kildare around. Linden-Kildare is not blocking anybody.
Need to get an extra foot into the trench or maybe cleat into the dirt here at Raymond Jackson Stadium. That gain of 4 is going to make it 3rd down and 6. Very important 3rd down here with 7.5 left to go in the first period. 2 backs. It's going to be a handoff. Confusing off for a second, but Turner isn't going to get very far. He lost a yard. And that's going to bring up 4th down and long, and once again, my punt time for Linden-Kildare as this drive stalls out to a 4-and-out. Maybe no. I don't see Lopez. Well, I don't see John George on the field to kick this thing off. But now they're changing formation, making a couple substitutions. Yep, they're going to try to punt this thing away with 7 minutes left.
I can already see that Linden-Kildare has no speed. No speed, and to beat a team like Tenaha, you have to have speed.
You have to be fast. That was how that was how Elysian Fields were able to beat them in the opening week. They might not have had the size pound for pound to match up, but they at least had the speed. As George punts this thing off, a great kick end over end. It's going to be hauled around the 35. Now breaking with extra speed and looking for room to run is Kenny. Kenny across midfield. Kenny at the 40, brought down at the 39-yard line. Heck of a return, and now Tenaha will take over with fantastic real estate. 1st down and 10.
Linden-Kildare, they have a nice punter.
Fantastic punter. George has been able to get a pretty solid leg into this one. Only issue is the rest of the return team, or the defensive return team, not able to get down the field and stop Kenny, especially with how fast and electric he is. We know he can be.
That kid is fast.
He is quick. Now 1st down and 10. Ball on the 39. Tenaha scoring on their first offensive drive after forcing a 4-and-out after giving up an onside kick on the opening kickoff of the contest. Now with 6:32, looking to go back-to-back. Linden-Kildare seem to be stacking the box here. At least from our perspective, going to have 5 on the O-line, and that might be exactly 5 on the line of scrimmage. That's exactly what you'll need against this Tenaha offensive line. Kenny in at quarterback has 4 out wide total, and a flag is thrown. Looks like it's a delay of game, and indeed it is. Coach Birdsong and company didn't get him out quick enough. And now Kenny speaking with the head official with absolute confusion.
With a lot of these small teams, a lot of these players have to play both ways. They're playing Ironman football. Now, some of these linemen for Tenaha, they're not playing defense. So they're going to be fresh.
And a lot of this Linden-Kildare front, whether it be on offense or defense, the other linemen are having to play both sides of the ball guaranteed. So you're going against a fresh, massive Tenaha offensive line It's going to be an awkward situation. Kenny's throw is complete. Striking down the numbers is Turner. Turner, end zone, touchdown. 44-yard touchdown pass. And Tenaha gets on the board again.
They have speed all over the field.
I mean, they're just breaking off of the line of scrimmage. Not necessarily any specific moves. If we look at our instant replay at the bottom of your screen, we see Turner breaking across the numbers towards the hashes and just streaks into the end zone for 6 more. Tenaha expanding that lead.
So Tenaha's played Elysian Fields.
Yep, they played Elysian Fields. They played the Tigers of
Who just dropped down to 2A.
Indeed, they did. They had West Sabine. As the PAT is bobbled, now looking to run it, eventually tackled is Ashton Owen. No, check that. That's Jalen Beatriz. So now with 6:24 left to go, Mike, hold that thought, and we'll get to that in just a second. After the unsuccessful PAT, 6:24 left in the first. Back after this from the ASM family of platforms, this is Texas High School Football.
Give it everything. At Pelche Kia and Tyler, we're tough, never quits.
An unsuccessful PAT might be the worst thing to come out of this Tenaha offense today because, ladies and gentlemen, they are firing on all cylinders. Up 14-0 at homecoming, 6:24 left to go. Jared Jones, Mike McCary here with you. Mike, we were going over Tenaha's schedule, and we know how important this game is in terms of district, but one of these teams is going to leave with their first win of the year. And if you're Tenaha, you might have a little bit something more to gain with a much tougher district coming out of 2A Division I, District 11.
Very much. So the teams they have played, really decent teams. I mean, you got to get stronger for district. I mean, they're winless right now, but these 3 teams they played will probably be going into the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
In their respective division. So
Elysian Fields, as you mentioned before the break, just dropping down from 3A. West Sabine, you know them personally with their clashes with the Wolves of St. Augustine and the Joaquin Rams, who we know are pretty much going to be solid almost every other year at least.
Yes. And this district, we lost West Sabine. They dropped down to Division II. Hemphill comes in. I mean, Tenaha, they're playing up where they need to be. I mean, they're going to get great tests in district. So you got Mount Enterprise looking great, defeating Chevyville last night. Overton's looking great. They haven't lost a game yet.
Overton has had a fantastic last season in this one.
Overton did lose one. I'm sorry. Lovelady lost to Garrison last night. They were state ranked at number 9 in 2A.
Indeed, they were. As now Linden-Kildare comes back, pitch taken by Love again. Love might have gotten a yard, and that's all they'll give them. 2nd and 9 coming up here.
0 first downs for Linden-Kildare.
So far, the offense has been absolutely stalled. The running lanes have been blocked by this Tenaha front 4. We saw them rush 3 at one point, and they still pretty much have the same pressure. This Tenaha defensive line has just been manhandling the line of scrimmage so far tonight.
Linden-Kildare is playing very vanilla, which I think is expected with the coaching change. And
brand new regime, of course.
Yeah.
Now coming up after that
really
short.
Confused.
Oh, indeed they do. But, of course, what better way to learn than to throw them in the pool and teach them how to swim? After that gain of 2, 2nd and 8. It's going to be a pitch again. Looking for spaces. Love isn't going to get very much. Might have gotten to the line of scrimmage, and that's where they'll mark him. No gain. Host the Tenaha Tigers on the hit. First one to get there is going to be the linebacking sophomore, Christian Vega.
There's no blocking whatsoever. A few linemen with hands on their hips already. They're tired. They're tired.
I mean, they have to move an absolute, pretty much a Mack truck of human beings up front with that Tenaha defensive line. With 5 minutes in ticking.
We got 3.5 quarters left to play. They're already tired.
Indeed they are. Gonna have to go into this bench. Coach Jeremy Hogan and company to get some depth out of this one. Inside of dime seconds on the play clock. 4:50 remaining in the first. 14-0 Tenaha. Man in motion at the bottom of your screen. It's going to be a bubble. Pass was intended for Brady Turner. And that is a backwards pass, so it should be Tenaha football. And it is. As we take a look, that was pretty much a lateral. It was a bubble screen to the outside intended for number 7, Braden Turner. The junior just unable to get it. They had the motion Going from the top to your bottom of your screen at Jarek Madison. Madison had the lead block. Tenaha just a bit quicker on that one. And now that gets him the football back.
Really, the execution's just not there. He just kind of lobbed it over like just there it is.
It's an awkward situation. Of course, you have a man in motion. You want that lead block to develop. You don't want to put too little, but you don't want to put too much on it either.
But the discipline and the knowledge of knowing that's going to be a backward pass, you've got to execute that play, or it could get really, really ugly. And as you saw, a turnover.
Tenaha will take over after the recovery on the 33-yard line. If you're listening over on ASN Radio, the Tenaha Tigers going from right to left on your respective device. 4:41 remaining in the first period. Kenny, low snap, drops back, up in the pocket now, looking, hit as he throws, has his target again, and this time it's caught. Seth Stokes ain't dropping it this time, folks. Touchdown, Tenaha, 33 yards to the house.
They are making this look really, really easy.
That's the second time we've seen that out route be open for Tenaha, specifically with Stokes. As we take a look at that touchdown again via our Sports Scope second look. Now with 4:33 left to go, Mike, this is starting to get out of hand.
There was nobody close to him. Nobody.
As we look for flags, I see none. Mike, do you see any? I don't think so. I do see one happy Marlon Birdsong talking to his coaches on the sideline. As we prepare for the PAT, looking to do the kicking is Jaden Beatriz. Beatriz got bottled up after a muffled snap. Last point after attempt, it was a penalty, and they ended up getting it back. Laces in on the snap, however, it sails up and good. So Tenaha gets on the board again, expands that lead. It's 21-0. 4:33 left to go from the ASN family platforms. This is Peltier Kia High School football. That last touchdown brought to you by Alignment King. Locations in Tyler and Corsicana, best fit any of your alignment needs, any make, any model, any year. There's only one Monarch to go to. That is Alignment King. Online at alignmentking.com. 4:33 left to go in this first quarter. If you're just now tuning in, and if you rewind to pretty much any point right after the opening kickoff, Mike, it's been all Tenaha.
All Tenaha. Linden-Kildare, they're just not executing. They're not blocking. They can't cover Tenaha's receivers. They're tied in. That tight end's going to have a big day.
Indeed, he is a big day for a big dude. Seth Stokes on that 33-yard touchdown. Ball's going to get bounced and bobbled at around the 25, taken out of bounds at around the 33-yard line. Returned by Jacorin Love. Love has pretty much been the only bright spot for this Linden-Kildare offense. He's able to get to the outside. He just doesn't have a block to get to that second level.
And he's also a freshman.
Indeed, he is. A fantastic freshman at that. Plenty of promise in the young man. 4:31 now left to go in the first. Ball will begin at the 33-yard line. Ironically, the very same place Tenaha started their drive after coming up with that fumble recovery on the failed backward pass on the bubble screen. Funny how things iron themselves out. A little bit of an irony there. Here we go. 1st and 10. They hand it to Love again. Love is immediately stuffed at the line of scrimmage, getting absolutely nowhere. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Linden-Kildare seems like they're just stuck in sand. Like they're just like barely even moving. I haven't seen a team this slow in a while.
One thing I want to see this quarterback, Keegan Sailors, who we know has an arm. We've seen him in the warm-ups. We've seen him drop back and get ready. The question is, do we see him take a step back and take a shot? He has two receivers, one at the bottom of your screen, as you can see right along the numbers now, donning the number 10 and Landon Farrington. He's 6'4". Throw it up in the air. Let him see if he can go and get it.
I want to see his arm some more because that backwards pass I saw, it didn't look good.
Pitch to Love again. Love breaks along the left hash marks, gets a solid gain, still up and going.
He's fighting.
What was supposed to be a gain of 2 now pans out to be a gain of 5. It's going to be 3rd and medium in
Is that their longest play?
I believe it's their second longest play from scrimmage. Sailors had a run for around 7 or so earlier in this quarter now with 3:20 left. Either way, it's positive yardage.
That's a good sign.
Indeed, it is a great sign if you're a Linden-Kildare fan watching tonight. 3:10 left. 15 seconds on the play clock now.
And that play was almost blew up.
Indeed, it was.
That lineman for Tenaha came straight through, almost untouched.
Christian Vega, listed as a linebacker, now playing a little bit of nose. He got there first, but Love was able to break off and get some extra change on that transaction. With it is Love again. Love takes his block from his left tackle, but is blown up at around the 40. Gets 2, gets 3, but not more than that. On the big hit, it's guess who? Brakeelan Kenny again.
Now, Linden-Kildare, they're having success with this stretch play. They try and go up the middle, but Linden-Kildare can't get the blocks. They can't block Tenaha right now on the line, so they're going outside here.
After that gain of 3, it's now 4th and 3. Looks like they're going to keep that offense on the field, but they still have 17 seconds to make a decision. Bunch here. Looks like we could see a quarterback sneak, a little bit of a tush push, and they get it. Move the chains. The quarterback keeper, and a flag is thrown.
It's going to be a personal foul.
Gain of 6, barring the penalty. At the bottom of the pile now, coming up is going to be Sailors. And Sailors a big run. The back judge with the first one to toss the laundry there.
The LK line pushed on that play.
Indeed, they did. That was a tush push. Take that, Philly. Now, at 2:07 left, officials convening at the 40. These conversations, I'll always like to think, are they talking about Applebee's or Chili's after the game?
They're probably wondering what time they're going to get out of here.
What do you think, Mike? Applebee's or Chili's, if you had to pick?
It's going to be a long ways.
But if you
long ways to go for that, so they better pick something else. They better pick something around here in Tenaha.
Chili's is fantastic, man.
Chili's is good.
Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty called against the Tenaha Tigers. So with that move, the sticks either way, it's going to be a first down and extra with 2:07 left to go, and that should move them into Tenaha Tiger territory as the officials walk this one off. And now, Mike, we could possibly see the remnants or the pieces of what could be a pretty solid offensive drive for LK.
If their offensive line pushes like they did then on every single play,
there's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see what they pull out of the hat here. 1st and 10, that penalty will move them over to the 39-yard line. Clock will now roll. Knocking on the door, 2 minutes here. 16 seconds to get the play off as they get the play call from the sideline. Still waiting. They get the play call now. Here we go. After the penalty, fresh set of downs, 1st and 10. Bunched again. It's going to be a handoff to Love. It's been all up today. He breaks out at the 30, 25, 20. Has room. Maybe one more man to beat. Gets Alligator rolled. That around the 16-yard line. 1st and 10. Gain of about 13. Well, gain of 23. Move the sticks. LK with their biggest play from scrimmage of the evening, Mike. And now we could possibly see them begin to roll.
He's putting them on their back. Could be a timeout.
Someone's got to do it. Looks like Tenaha and Coach Birdsong and company want to talk things over and try to slow down this LK attack, understandably so. As they give a chance to talk things over, we'll get off sponsors an opportunity at a message. Back after this in 30 seconds on the Antler Sports Network. After the Tenaha timeout, Linden-Kildare with a big chunky yardage prior to that Tenaha timeout. Jared Jones, Mike McCary. Mike, we talked about this right before the break. This could be the makings of a pretty solid drive here.
Love's heating up.
Indeed he is. He's been the straw that stirs the drink. He's been the whole enchilada, the rice, the beans, the lime to go on top of it, and maybe some spare tortillas and chips and salsa. He's been Linden-Kildare so far tonight, so expect him to keep going to the well. Minute 38 left to go in this first quarter. It's going to be a tush push again. This time it's going to be a keeper for Sailors. Sailors pushes forward. Gain of around 4. Host of Tenaha Tigers on the tackle again. First one to get there. Donning that number 52, Ciro Sandoval. That's his second tackle of the contest now. Now inside of him, just knocking on the door inside of a minute. A minute and 20 left to go in this first quarter. That was a gain of 4. Make it second down and 6. 17 seconds to get the snap off. Looks like they're taking their time. 10 seconds now to get the snap off. Inside of a minute. Sailors gets the play call. Has 2 backs into the I form here. Click of the heel, silent count. It's a handout to Love again. Love has room, could score. Gets down to about the 2.
I could have swore he was going to score there.
It looked like he did, and now that's going to be first and goal after the 9-yard rush. Linden-Kildare here, Mike, cooking with Crisco with barely any time left to go in this first quarter. Tush push again, trying to move the pile as Sailors. He isn't going to get very far. LK says touchdown, but the ball is out. Running with it along the other side, crossing midfield. Open. It's Seth Stokes again. Still waiting on the official call. He backflips into the end zone. Flag is thrown. So I'm not going to make an official call yet, Mike. What just happened?
I didn't hear a whistle.
I didn't hear a whistle either. Yep, the officials are marking touchdown. Count it. Tenaha gets on the board.
Again.
Oh, my. Linden-Kildare. A touchdown snatched from the jaws of this drive. And it's still a flag to assess. And now head coach Jeremy Hogan is meeting right on the 25-yard line with the officiating crew. Not happy at all.
I wouldn't be happy either. I mean, because they, it kind of felt like it should have been blown dead because they were in that pile
for a good couple of seconds,
just fighting with each other. And either he was in already or it should have been blown dead wherever the ball was. I don't even think the referees knew where the ball was because it was so jumbo packed right there. They just all came together.
It was a pack of sardines at around the 1. The official still talking with Coach Hogan as we are hoping somebody can give us some kind of an explanation here. And what has been a very insane, to say the least, past couple of seconds. Scoreboard's reading 26 seconds left, 27-0 Tenaha.
That play was odd.
That was odd. And what if I told you it's just a long list of the odd plays we have seen this week?
So they got the personal foul in the end zone. We have flipping in the end zone. So I guess that's going to be taken off on the kickoff.
Yep, as we get the call here. We do have, that seems to be the only flag. The celebration by Stokes, a little bit of a backflip, although big man backflip, not going to have any complaints up here at the booth. But if you're, can't really blame him. And he's a senior. So, can't be too mad at him as we await the PAT from Beatrice. Puts his leg into this one. Dirk kicks up. Ball is through and true. 28-0 by different circumstances. 26 seconds left. Final plays of the quarter coming up after this. Homecoming here at Tenaha. Jared Jones, Mike McCary here with you with 26 seconds left to go in this one. If you have been tuning in, you have seen a football game. What kind of football game is up to interpretation? However, one thing that isn't, it's the scoreboard at the bottom of your screen. All Tenaha 28-0 after the successful PAT converted by Beatrice. Back deep to receive for Linden-Kildare is going to be number 7, Braden Turner, as well as number 8, Jacorin Love. Love has definitely had a rough day for him, had a touchdown snatched away as it was a 97-yard touchdown return by Seth Stokes. And now we're seeing that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty assessed to Stokes being tacked onto the kickoff here. Tenaha is going to be booting things from the 25-yard line.
Well, I did love that last little part of that drive for Linden-Kildare. I mean, they stopped overdoing it and just went simple I formation.
Kickoff is into the air over the head of Turner as Turner takes that around the 20, whistle dead, so it'll be 1st and 10 LK from the 20-yard line. Now, Mike, I like how you brought up that second half of that drive. It was fantastic. It was pretty much picture perfect, using LK's strengths against Tenaha's quote-unquote weaknesses, although it seems like they've been ironmen in this game. No pun intended.
Once they went for that 4th down and got it, they kind of started clicking. I wonder if it's going to carry over on this drive.
Well, you would think so. I mean, going for it on 4th down against any opponent and successfully converting it is going to give you a little bit of extra swagger, a bit of extra pep in your step. So it's going to be interesting to see if the blue and white Tigers are able to carry that momentum, Mike, as you mentioned.
But as he returned it for a 99-yard touchdown, that would deflate me.
That's man.
Being right there at the goal line and fumble the ball.
And what many people thought would have been whistled a dead ball either way.
Yeah.
So here's 1st and 10, 4 out wide, 2 in the slot. Dropping back, looking, still looking. Sailors is wrestled down at the 10.
They went away from what's working on that last drive.
Keeping it on the ground as Sailors a bit slow to get up. They're going to mark that as a loss of 7 on the TFL is going to be C.J. Sewell, the big senior. Mike, we talked about this in the pregame. This Tenaha front, whether it be in the offensive or defensive line, they got some cornbread-fed boys.
They do. Now, Sewell, he was first team last year.
And you can see that.
You could tell, I mean, he's all over on this defense.
That loss of 7. And I make it 2nd and 17 as both teams going to their sidelines. And it looks like we have an official's timeout, and we'll take it with them. Myself and Mike McCary will take a second to keyword try to catch our breaths. 11 seconds left to go, and it looks like they're just going to go in and end this quarter. So with that, we've played 1 period, 12 minutes down, 3 more quarters to go. After 1, it's all Tenaha, 28-0. Back after this from the Antler Sports Network family of platforms, this is Texas High School Football.
Give it everything. At Pelshey and Tyler, we're tough, never quits.
After 1 quarter, it's pretty much been more of the same. Heading into quarter number 2, all Tenaha. But as myself and Mike McCary can attest, after 1 quarter of play, Linden-Kildare, regardless of the score, have shown flashes of the pan of what could be a pretty solid offense if they get the ball rolling.
But they can't take a sack like that.
A loss of 9.
This offense is not built to go past 1st and 10. I mean, I would have a hard time passing the ball right now. With what they were doing running the football on that last drive, stick with what was working.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. One of the oldest tropes in the book. It's an oldie, but Mike, it is indeed a goodie. After this one, they have a date next week. Linden-Kildare Tigers do at home against the Blue Devils of Celeste. Tenaha, I would say a relatively difficult opponent. Just the Lovelady Lions at home.
Oh, they're feisty.
That is going to be a whale of a game. Fresh 12 minutes are on the clock. Both teams are back on the field. Quick substitution here for Linden-Kildare. Checking out, notably, Keegan Sailors, the quarterback, is out. It's 2nd and 17. Looks like the new quarterback, at least from our view, is going to be number 8, Jacorin Love. Looks like he's going to take the snap. And he is. A direct snap. Keeper trucking a man going forward. That's going to be a solid little gain of around 3.
That's actually Stanley.
Look at that. They have a second number 8 on the field.
No, it's 6. He had 6.
I could barely see that 6 big scrunched up from this front side angle.
Yeah, that was Stanley, and he went out on this play. So,
yep, and it looks like Sailors is back in.
You know, I would run the Wildcat.
Why not?
I mean,
try to get some motion, keep this Tenaha defense on their heels, make them rely solely on their speed now. 9 seconds to get a snap off. We've played 40 seconds of this second quarter of play. 2 seconds, 1 second, they get it off. Sailors dropping back, looking, throw is complete, hauled in by Braden Turner, but Turner isn't going to get very far, maybe a gain of 1, and now 4th down and a country mile to go for Linden-Kildare.
He doesn't really have that much zip on the ball, and it seems like the ball takes forever to get there, and those Tenaha DBs are right there on the receiver, and they're tackling. They're fundamentally sound tackling.
But to Sailors' credit, it's at the right spot, just not at the right speed.
Yeah.
Now with 4th down, they're going to make that a gain of 2 and make it 4th and 11. That last catch by Braden Turner. They're going to punt this thing away. George, this thing might cross midfield. No, it takes an awkward bounce around the 45. And Linden-Kildare downs it at the 41. It's going to be 1st and 10 and prime real estate for Tenaha on offense.
So we were talking about Lovelady, Tenaha playing Lovelady next. That's who knocked them out of the playoffs last year.
So a lot of bad blood between those teams.
50-14.
Yep. Tenaha this year looking to...
No, Lovelady has the same team coming back.
Pretty much the exact same team. I believe they graduated around 6 or 7 players total, if that. Tenaha team that is very consistent. Have only missed the playoffs 4 times this century. The 2003, 4, and 5 seasons. And in 2019, looking to go back to avenge that 3rd round loss last year against Lovelady, as you brought up, Mike.
It's going to be tough for them, but that's why we play the game.
Any given Friday, or in this case, any given Saturday. It's always fun to have a late Saturday night game as Kenny rolls out, is pressure, breaks 1, tackle, breaks 2, but is it going to break 3, 4, and 5? Coming up with the big TFL. Multiple Wildcats on that one, getting the hit first. 20 number 51, Jason Moore, the sophomore.
That was a huge loss.
13-yard loss with 10 minutes flat left to go. It's going to be 2nd down and 23.
Where was that in the first quarter?
Indeed. Kind of asking the same question here. This is the 2nd longest yard to go in ASN history. The longest one was a 4th and 40 just 2 years ago between Austin Westlake and the Cardinals of Del Valle. This one, a throw from Kenny into the dirt, incomplete, intended for Fredu, and this one will bring up a 3rd and 23 now.
So they're crowding the line of scrimmage on defense, and there's no safety help, nothing. So they get a pass off, it's straight to the end zone.
Indeed, it is definitely a...
But the pressure's getting there.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword. It's a bit of Russian roulette on defense here. If you're Linden-Kildare, if it's working, sure, go to it. But when do you go to the well too many times that end up getting burnt? We've seen how quickly Tenaha can get open in terms of receivers, and even the big tight end, Seth Stokes, who already has 2 touchdowns. 3rd and a country mile now. With 9:34, looks like Coach Birdsong and company got to take a timeout and talk it over, and we will do the same. Back in 30 seconds, 9:35 left to go in this one. Tenaha 28, Linden-Kildare nothing. From the ASN family of platforms, this is Texas High School football. The Tigers at Tenaha taking a second to talk things over with 9:35 left in this first half here on Homecoming. Mike McCary, Jared Jones, happy to be with you on this special edition of Saturday Night High School Football. Mike, this is a bit of an awkward situation. You take a massive loss on a sack. Linden-Kildare's defense is going to give you two different things. Either they're going to send the house or sit back. Only question is, who's going to figure that out first?
I don't think they're going to sit back.
Looks like they're going to try to send some more heat. Understandably so.
They got one safety back there.
Rolling snap to Kenny. Kenny flushed out. He's going to keep it himself. Crosses midfield. 45-40. 35-30. Has a lead block. Jukes across the left at the 20. Now Jukes again. Breaks two more ankles. At the 10. 5. Flagstone. Touchdown Tenaha. But Laundry on the field.
That was a big hit.
We take another look here. There seems to be a Linden-Kildare player down. Another flag is thrown as we take another look here. Kenny got the block. It was a massive block.
Hit is by his own man.
It was a collateral hit, and as the injured Linden-Kildare play gets attended to, we'll take a break for this.
Give it everything. At Pelshake and Tyler, we're tough, never quits.
Oh, when my Marco's craving hits, it really hits. And with unlimited medium one-topping pizzas for $6.99 each, I can cover tonight's cravings and tomorrow's. Nice. Marco's. Pizza lovers, get it. Feast your eyes on Marco's Pepperoni Magnifico. Fresh dough made daily, topped with our signature sauce. 3 real cheeses, classic pepperoni, plus crispy cupped Old World pepperoni. Pure pepperoni perfection for just $9.99, but for a limited time only.
Possibly hold it.
Could possibly be a holding there, but Kenny with an absolute missile. And it is going to be called against Tenaha, it seems. As Kenny has his hands cascaded over his helmet in absolute disgust with 7:50 left. More points snatched away from Tenaha.
Well, I mean, they've got enough on the scoreboard right now.
I'm sure they could spare a couple of points. So it is indeed a holding call. Well, excuse me, that was a legal man downfield that appeared to be. How about that? That's the first time we've seen that. So now, 3rd and 24. Even farther. Let's call it 3rd and, what do you say, Huntsville to go?
Houston.
Houston proper, or say a Katy or Conroe Spring? What do you think?
Katy.
So how about that? Mike McCary, the voice of reason. 3rd and Katy for Tenaha. Kenny drops back, winds up, launches it again. Flag is thrown. As he steps back in bounds, that's not going to count.
No, that's going to be pass interference.
It's going to be pass interference, illegal touching, as the referee signal for touchdown. This thing will come back. Only question is what penalty is going to be enforced. Officials talking it over at the 25. It's going to be so one thing we can probably say is going to be pass interference.
Yeah.
But Kenny launched that ball and it sailed out of bounds. So will they deem that a catchable ball?
If he established himself back in bounds.
Because he was pushed out of bounds due to the push.
Yeah.
He got back in on his own accord by simply running around, getting back. He ended up catching it, going to the end zone. The back judge on the far right of your screen, standing with Sailors, put up the touchdown signal. He had the two arms up parallel. And now the head official speaking with Coach Jeremy Hogan, pointing in the direction now of Tenaha, as we can try to get some answers out of this in what has been a wild contest. And now it looks like he's going to go try to talk to Marlon Birdsong. There's already two officials there trying to explain what happened. And now the head official, Coach Birdsong, I don't know if we can find a lip reader in the house tonight, folks, but looking from his facial expressions, Mike, he is not happy. Or at least I don't think he's happy.
Either way, it's automatic first.
It is going to be an automatic first down. But crazier things have happened, so it wouldn't surprise me if they said 4th down and 50, balls on the 2.
They're already lined back up, son.
Yep, the official's still talking. They are lined back up.
I mean, are they waving the flag?
I don't know. We haven't gotten a signal from the White Hat yet. I mean, with 7:50 left to go in the second, again, I want to note the back judge, after Cook stepped out of bounds, was pushed out of bounds, got back in bounds, caught it, got into the end zone. Officials waved touchdown. Well, back judge signaled touchdown. But we just don't know if it will count. It looks like we'll have an explanation here. Holding called against Linden-Kildare. Illegal touching called against Tenaha. Those penalties will offset 3rd down. So we have our verdict.
All that for that.
For offsetting penalties. I expected something exciting. I expected someone to get ejected, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what I really wanted out of that. But either way, going to be 3rd and a country mile. As our own Mike McCary said, 3rd and Katy. McKinney's going to drop back again. It's a screen. Caught, snatched up by Fredu. Fredu with open field. Fredu at the 35. Moving towards the 25. Moving towards the 20. Stokes has a jump block. He gets pushed. Stood up and tackled at around the 21-yard line. Either way, it ain't going to be enough, folks.
4th down.
It's going to be 4th down. And now, interesting situation here for Tenaha. Gain of 18 is going to be 4th and 6.
You know, Tenaha's up 28-0 second quarter. I would, drop my kicker out there, get some practice going in.
Let him try to get some points. But no, it looks like that offense is on the field. Low snap by Kenny again. Flushed out to the pocket. Rolls out to his left. At the left hash. Throw back in the end zone. Touchdown. It's in. Tenaha gets on the board.
Flag.
As Kenny not happy. Could we see touchdown number 3 taken away from Tenaha tonight? They've almost had as many touchdowns taken away by penalties as they had from their offense in this contest. Flag is thrown on the line of scrimmage, and it looks like it might be. Yep, it's going to be against Tenaha. As we see the signs of dismay from both Zacchaeus Tutt and company. Now Coach Birdsong, eligible man downfield for
Again,
Tenaha. That's the
third.
second.
The third.
His third. That's
the
their third.
on this drive.
So now, touchdown snatched.
Again.
Coach Hogan for Linden-Kildare trotting onto the field. He wants to try to talk to one of the officials. He talks to the referee now at around the 30. One thing you got to give it to Coach Hogan, he is not afraid to speak his mind to this officiating crew tonight.
Well, I mean, it's going in his favor. I'm wondering what they're talking about.
Either way, it's going to be 4th and 11 for Tenaha. Ball's on the 27. Official gives the motion to initiate the play clock now. 6:52, clock frozen. 15 seconds to get the snap off. Kenny has a back. Now that lone back being Fredo moves to his left pocket. Kenny drops back. Fade ball. Winds up. Toss in the air. 50-50. Caught. Did he hold it? He caught it.
No.
But is his foot in bounds? No. Officials wave it off.
Really close.
That was indeed close. So turnover on downs.
Make sure there's no flags.
Yep. I need to put you on flag watch for the night. Do you have ultra flag vision goggles to the night vision? That might as well be what we can try to invent here. I don't see any flags. Closest thing to a flag I see is Jatavius Malone's gloves, but I don't think those are getting used as penalty flags anytime soon. Nope. No flags. Turnover on downs. Linden-Kildare will take the ball back. And Mike, I don't know about you. That's kind of like an arm punt if you're Tenaha.
I thought that drive would never end.
I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't. I would not be surprised if that drive took us all the way to the half.
Longest drive of the year.
One of the longest drives that we've seen in this one, North Mesquite. And the Stallions back in our Week 1 broadcast at Choctaw Stadium, and their loss 58-0 against Arlington Seguin holds the record for the longest drive this year. 9 minutes and 37 seconds. Almost taking the entire third quarter. Now with 6:40, Linden-Kildare will take back over 1st and 10 after forcing their turnover on downs from Tenaha. 30 seconds to get the snap off, and they do. Hand off to Love. Love spins, gets dropped back. Thought he almost got stripped. But coming up with the TFL after the loss of 1 is going to be number 77, Karen Cato, the sophomore offensive defensive lineman. That'll make it 2nd and 11 with 6:20 left in the first half of play. Tenaha has 1 timeout. Linden-Kildare has 2.
They really need to put something on the board here, or we may be looking at a running clock second half.
We just might be, but a Linden-Kildare score
would kind of change that.
Indeed, it would, because this has been, if you watch the first quarter and look at the second, it's pretty much been 2 completely different ball games. Yeah. Even if you looked at the back half of the first quarter, Linden-Kildare, after taking a timeout, looked like a whole different football team. Here we go. Balled up again in the backfield. This one is going to be another loss of around 2. Coming up with the football for Tenaha is going to be Kenny, but I don't think it's going to be marked as a turnover. And nope, it's just going to be another loss. This time a loss of 2. It's going to be 3rd and long. Linden-Kildare getting the play call from the sidelines. A couple of substitutions. At the top of your screen, arguably the tallest receiver on the field, Landon Farrington. But right next to him in coverage is the senior Jatorian Moore. Could be an interesting matchup. 4 out wide total for Sailors. 2 in the slot. Faking the handoff. Rolling, looking, alligator roll, then brought down as Sailors. Tackle is made by Fredo. Fredo, his 3rd sack of the game. They're not going to give him any forward progress. If anything, that's going to be a massive loss. Loss of 5.
Sailors had no chance on that play.
Sailors was bottled up, Mike, pretty much immediately.
He was slow getting out. They were already in the backfield. There was no chance for that play to happen.
As we get ready for halftime, I'd like to let you guys know that here on Homecoming, at the half, our band of the week, the marching band from Tigerland. As George boots this one off on 4th down. Ball is bobbled and eventually down at the 45-yard line, so it didn't even go end over end. So Tenaha will take over 1st and 10 with prime real estate, Mike. So let's see if Tenaha can finally get into the end zone without it getting snatched away by the old Yellow Hanky. 4:19 left to go.
4:19 till halftime. I mean, Linden-Kildare, they're trying. They're just not getting there. I mean, Tenaha hasn't scored this quarter.
They haven't. Tenaha's offense isn't looking as potent as it did, but this Linden-Kildare defense, dare I say, they've kind of stepped up to the plate here.
But Tenaha, I think they're kind of getting relaxed because they scored so many in the first quarter. But
quick bubble. Throw to the outside by Malone. Malone turns upfield at the 40, but eventually gets rolled down at the 39-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 4, 2nd down and short.
The penalties on that last drive for Tenaha, they were killer.
That arguably might have been the best defense. The mistake, the flag, the penalty, whatever you want to call it. That's been the best defense out of both of these teams tonight, taking away a lot of yardage. Taking away more than a messy divorce. 3:45 left to go. Kenny drops back. Going to be a bubble to the outside again, this time to Moore. Moore turns upfield at the 40. Makes it to get the 35. Now looking for the 30. Almost breaks another tackle, but gets tackled at the 25-yard line. Massive gain. Move the sticks. 1st down and 10. That's going to be a gain of 18. Move the sticks with 3.5 left to go in this one. They're going to mark this at about the 24-yard line. They'll make it. After the big play from Moore. One thing about that second level for these Tenaha receivers, Mike, once they get there, it's just shading after shading off of these tackles. Low snap. Kenny keeps it. Gets to the 20. Breaks to the outside. He might have a lane at the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 end zone. Touchdown, Tenaha.
As you were saying, once they get to that second level, the Jets come on.
It's been arguably the money for Tenaha. They could get into that second level, break that one tackle, that speed, that acceleration, that second gear kicks in, and it seems to be 6 almost every single time. 3:08 left to go, and Tenaha finally gets into the end zone. But hold up, do we see a flag? Mike, do you see any? I don't.
No.
All right, no penalties. How about that? 3:08 left to go as we await the PAT attempt from Beatrice. Doing the holding is going to be Sandoval, who already has 2 TFLs in this one. Low line drive, kick right into the concession stand. Looks like the football might have wanted some nachos or so. Either way, it goes to the pylon and is in. 3:08 left to go in this first half of play. All Tenaha, they break the pylon again. 34-zip. Back in 30 seconds on the Antler Sports Network.
Everything. At Pelshey and Tyler, we're tough, never quits.
.308 left to go in this first half. Jared Jones, Mike McCary with you at Raymond Jackson Stadium, nicknamed the pit for this contest between the Tigers of Linden-Kildare and the Tigers of Tenaha. Tenaha here on homecoming, Mike. They're giving the home fans a bit of a show.
Well, I mean, the fans probably already bored right now. They scored so many times. I mean, I would be heading to the car.
Back deep, 2 for Linden-Kildare is going to be Braden Turner and Jacorin Love. Ready to boot things away for Tenaha. Going to be number 52, Sandoval once more. Now 3:08 still remaining. Linden-Kildare showing prominence on defense. The ball falls over. They reset. Ball seems to be cooperating now. It's ready to tee things off and get things going once again. Ball's in the air. High arcing kick is going to be returned from the 15. Breaking to the outside is Turner. Turner looking at the 30. Alligator roll at about the 27, though. And now Linden-Kildare will pretty much have to drive the length of the field. 1st and 10. A steep mountain to climb for the LK Tigers.
I was kind of expecting late hit out of bounds there. They kind of tossed him whenever he was running out of bounds. They're letting him play, though.
I mean, honestly, can you blame them? There were so many penalties in the front half of this quarter. Let them give them a little bit more leeway, at least going into the half. Give the coaches more talking points. That's what I can chalk it up to. I don't know. Maybe I'm just an optimist.
So I think Linden-Kildare, they need to, looks like they're going to stay in that I formation. Just don't get cute. Don't start passing the ball. You're having success running the ball if you stick with it.
If it's working, keep it on the ground.
I mean, the I formation is simple. Just run straight.
Find your lanes. Let your offensive linemen show your running backs where to go. In the play call, instructing its backfield is Sailors again. Sailor under his center now. Takes a snap. It's going to be a pitch to left. The Love is blown up in the backfield. What a hit. Love absolutely crushes. We take a second look via our SportScope Instant Replay. SportScope offering UIL-ready replay system to coaches across the Lone Star State. Get to the game at sportscope.com as we take another hit, a big-time hit. That's one way to ring your bell and wake your butt up. 2.5 left to go, Mike. I don't know about you. I felt that one from here.
I would, if I was the lineman supposed to block him, I mean, I would feel pretty bad right now.
We would have to have a nice conversation in the locker room.
I mean,
man,
that boy just got blew up. I would have some feelings after the game.
I don't know if you would feel anything for a couple of seconds after that hit. That was a massive hit. 1 second to get it off, and they won't get the play off in time. No, yes, they will. It's going to be a quick handoff right down Main Street into the mayor's office, but rejected, no appointment. Getting absolutely nothing is Wesley Stanley. No, they're going to give him a yard. As it looks like we have a timeout for an injured Tenaha player. Looks like as he gets a cramp stretched out, we'll give our sponsor a chance at a message. Back in 30 seconds on the Antler Sports Network and ASN Radio. The injured Tenaha Tiger has been treated to. Now, Linden-Kildare will be treated with a 3rd and 16. Minute 33 left to go in this first half of play. And now still getting the play call from the sideline led by head coach Jeremy Hogan. One of the many members of this Kildare carousel, and it looks like Linden-Kildare is going to take a timeout. They'll have one left. We'll take one more break. When we come back, maybe we'll have the last minute 19 in this first half, but we'll find out. But first, we'll give our fantastic sponsors a chance at a message. Back in 1 minute on the Antler Sports Network.
Pels Shaky and Tyler, we're tough, never quits.
Oh, when my Marco's craving hits, it really hits. And with unlimited medium one-topping pizzas for $6.99 each, I can cover tonight's cravings and tomorrow's. Nice. Marco's. Pizza lovers, get it. Feast your eyes on Marco's Pepperoni Magnifico. Fresh dough made daily, topped with our signature sauce. 3 real cheeses, classic pepperoni, plus crispy cupped Old World pepperoni. Pure pepperoni perfection for just $9.99, but for a limited time only.
Back at Raymond Jackson Stadium, Jared Jones and Mike McCary here with you. After Linden-Kildare calls their second time out of the half, both teams now sitting on 1 remaining. 3rd and 16. It's going to be a run from Love. Love isn't going to get very far. He gained 2 yards and nothing else. Absolutely stonewalled, Mike, by the Tenaha defense, which is looking a lot like what we saw in that first quarter.
Why is the clock? There it goes.
There we go.
It
Clock stopped for a second. Got scared here. Made us do a bit of a double take. That run from Love, again, good for 2. Now it's going to be 4 and around 13 to go. 1 minute left. We might have one more play in this half from Linden-Kildare, and it might just be this punt. 2 back deep to receive for Tenaha. It's both Moore as well as Kinney. George, flag is thrown. Low kick, line drive. Ball is going to be taken around midfield. Moore. Couple of hats fly from the official. Turns back around. Look at a lateral, but he's going to keep it at the 49. Oh, boy. That could have been something. As multiple flags thrown, officials have lost their hats. Babies have been thrown onto the field. We don't know what's going on anymore, Mike. I don't know.
He did more dancing than he did running.
You saw right below us here at around the midfield. We saw him try to look back and get ready to try to lateral it.
If he had did that, I imagine he would have been benched.
I mean, if you recall back just last year in the UIL State Championships at AT&T Stadium between the Bulldogs of Summer Creek and the Eagles of DeSoto, which we had right here on ASN1, we saw that exact same thing from the number 1 return man in the country. So if he can do it, why not Jatorian Moore? As now it looks like officials talking to head coach Jeremy Hogan, giving him an explanation. Again, as they talk things out, I want to give you a reminder that our band of the week this week is the Roaring Band from Tigerland from Tenaha High School. We'll have their performance in its entirety at the half. We'll also have the highlights from our most previous broadcast. The dismantling of the Grapevine Mustangs by head coach Joe Gordon and the Arlington Seguin Cougars. All that and more at the half. Myself and Mike will talk over some things from what we saw, what we expect to get you ready for quarters 3 and 4. Still waiting. Referees talking to both coaches now. They move it back. Penalty against Tenaha. And it looks like this is going to be a automatic first down. Yes, it is. All right. So, with that penalty, Linden-Kildare is going to get a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10. Ball's on the 41 with 29 seconds left. And the world is your oyster here.
This crew has been kind of weird.
Looks like it was a personal foul. Yep, it was a personal foul called against the Tigers of Tenaha, that is. Bringing up 1st and 10 for LK. Hand off to Love again. Love with a head of steam. Barrels through. Gets double team. Still pushing forward. He's got to get plenty of forward progress here. A gain of 5. It's one of the assistant coaches for Linden-Kildare laying into the head linesman. That gain of 5 is going to bring up 2nd and 5 for Love. With 12 seconds, 10 seconds. Don't think they're going to try to get one more play off, and they will not. This will be the last play of the half. 24 minutes down, 24 minutes to go. At the half, it has been all Tenaha. We'll take a break. Take a look at the highlights from our last broadcast. Have second half statistics, our thoughts, and more. At the half, it's all Tenaha, 35-zip. Back after this from the ASN family of platforms. This is Texas High School football on the Antler Sports Network.
Pell Shaky and Tyler, we're tough, never quits.
When my Marco's craving hits, it really hits. And with unlimited medium one-topping pizzas for $6.99 each, I can cover tonight's cravings and tomorrow's. Nice. Marco's. Pizza lovers, get it. Feast your eyes on Marco's Pepperoni Magnifico. Fresh dough made daily, topped with our signature sauce. 3 real cheeses, classic pepperoni, plus crispy cupped Old World pepperoni. Pure pepperoni perfection for just $9.99, but for a limited time only.
Give it everything. At Pell Shaky and Tyler, we're tough, never quits.
Yard line. Holmes in the gun, has 2 backs, has a receiver, lone receiver at the bottom of your screen. Takes the snap. It's going to be a handoff over to Contreras. Contreras has open field at the 45, pushing towards midfield. Gets brought down at the 48-yard line. First down in 10. And 2 receivers in motion, those receivers being Polk as well as Brown. Andrews has blind the backfield. Drops back in looking. Has a man across the middle, and it's caught! Snagging along the 20, is still looking for more yards as Brown. Gain of 16. Moved it for both teams. Michi, it's going to be a fake. He keeps it. Juice has room if he can get across. He's at the 45, 50. He gets the first and is still rolling. Has a block upfield at the 20. Down at the 17-yard line is Jonathan Polk. He has blind the backfield. 3 out wide. It's going to be a keeper. Looking, has the first down and some extra chase, dives, end zone, touchdown, Seguin! Strong college pedigree, was first team all the Big 8, now known as the Big 12. All-conference cornerback back in his playing days. Going to be a handoff to Contreras, gets the first down and an extra yard. Gain of 9 will move it. Holmes keeps it. Bounces off with 2 tackles and has room at the 35-30. Has open grass 25, 20. Bounce out of bounds at the 19-yard line. Move the chains. 22-yard 15 for 286 yards. 4 touchdowns, 2 picks, a side of fries, and a milkshake. Gonna drop back. We'll let it fly. Has a man across the middle. Caught! It's caught! Off it is Brown! Touchdown, Seguin! Puts a man in motion. Now as a back, Seguin looking to send the heat, and they do. It's a carry for Contreras. Contreras breaks out, has a man at midfield, gets a block from an official, gets across midfield into Cougars territory. That's a gain of 13. First and 10. Waves Michi back out. Fakes the handoff. Andrew steps up in the pocket. Bursts of speed. Hit as he throws. It's got a man. Caught! It's caught! It's caught at the 49! Playoff teams That being Mansfield Summit, Burleson, and Everman. Andrews goes deep. Caught! He caught it! Contarius Brown! He does it again! Heck of a move. Throw on the run. It's caught! It's caught at the 20! It's caught at the 20! 39-yard gain! Jaden Robinson doing the snapping for Seguin. Fakes the handoff. He's got a man. It's Brown. End zone. Touchdown! He caught it! It's in the end zone! He holds it in! Seconds to get a playoff now. Holmes puts a man in motion. It's DJ Wright. Gets it off right in time. Option. Pitch to Contreras. Contreras gets bottled up and around the 20. Still losing yardage. 5. Juking to the outside with a couple of blocks. No, goes back to the right side now. Jukes across the middle along the right hash. Breaks off. Has an open Smith at the 40. 35, 30. Has another block ahead of him. Maybe one more man to beat at the 20. Bounced out of bounds at around the 14-yard line. And fantastic return, as it was the passing attack that's pretty much been working all game. And as a wise man once said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. 4:50 left to go. Andrews rolls out to his left. Pressure. He's got to tuck and run. Into the end zone. Touchdown again. Their offensive firepower has just been too much. 2:45 left to go. Ball on the 25, fresh at downs, 1st and 10. Hand up to Contreras again. Contreras cuts back to the left side, still looking, still getting in the open field. He's going to gain more than what he needs to move the chains. Gain of 11 is going to be a 1st and 10. Grapevine sending 3. Andrews flushed out again. Jukes with a lane. Throws. Caught! Caught at the 45. Still marching through. Gets to the open field but gets pushed out of bounds. 8:50 remaining on the game clock here. Andrews looking to throw. Drops back. Has a man in the flat. Caught. Gain of 11 and gets out of bounds quickly. Pass is hauled in by G-Money Smith. Up north in the state of Oklahoma. Over at Bigsby. 2nd down now. Throw. It's complete to Mesh. Mesh with a lane. Mesh with a burst. End zone. Touchdown, Seguin. Man in motion. It's an up to Contreras. He's got a head of steam now with the 30. Now at the 40. 45. Bounced out of bounds right before getting to midfield. As a Grapevine helmet comes off. Polk on the option. Looking to pitch. He's going to keep it himself. Lateral. Has an open block. Get at the 45. Bounced out of bounds. No, he stayed inbounds. That's a gain of... Four-yard line. Holmes in the gun, has 2 backs, has a receiver, lone receiver at the bottom of your screen. Takes the snap. It's going to be a handoff over to Contreras. Contreras has open field at the 45, pushing towards midfield. Gets brought down at the 48-yard line. 1st down and 10. And 2 receivers in motion, those receivers being Polk as well as Brown. Andrews has blind the backfield. Drops back and looking. Has a man across the middle, and it's caught! Snagged along the 20, still looking for more yards as Brown. Gain of 16. Moved it for both teams. Michi, it's going to be a fake. He keeps it. Jukes has room if he can get across. He's at the 45, 50. He gets the first and is still rolling. Has a block upfield at the 20. Down at the 17-yard line is Jonathan Polk. He has blind the backfield. 3 out wide. It's going to be a keeper. Looking. Half the 1st down and some extra chase. Dives. End zone. Touchdown, Seguin. Strong college pedigree. Was first team all the Big 8, now known as the Big 12. All-conference quarterback back in his playing days. Going to be a handoff to Contreras. Gets the 1st down and an extra yard. Gain of 9 will move. Holmes keeps it. Bounces off of 2 tackles and has room at the 35-30. Has open grass 25, 20. Bounced out of bounds at the 19-yard line. Move the chains. 22-yard 15 for 286 yards. 4 touchdowns, 2 picks, a side of fries, and a milkshake. Gonna drop back. We'll let it fly. Has a man across the middle. Caught! It's caught! Up it is Brown! Touchdown, Seguin! Puts a man in motion. Now as a back. Seguin looking to send the heat, and they do. It's a carry for Contreras. Contreras breaks out, has a man at midfield, gets a block from an official, gets across midfield into Cougars territory. That's a gain of 13. First and 10. Waves Michi back out. Fakes the handoff. Andrew steps up in the pocket. Bursts of speed. Hit as he throws. Scott, a man! Caught! It's caught! It's caught at the 49! Playoff teams, that being Mansfield Summit, Burleson, and Everman. Andrews goes deep. Caught! He caught it! Contarius Brown! He does it again! Heck of a move. Throw on the run. It's caught! It's caught at the 20! It's caught at the 20! 39-yard gain! Jaden Robinson doing the snapping for Seguin. Fakes the handoff. He's got a man. It's Brown. End zone. Touchdown. He caught it. It's in the end zone. He holds it in. Seconds to get a playoff now. Holmes puts a man in motion. It's DJ Wright. Gets it off right in time. Option. Pitch to Contreras. Contreras gets bottled up and around the 20. Still losing yardage. 5, juking to the outside with a couple of blocks. No, goes back to the right side now. Jukes across the middle along the right hash, breaks off, has an open Smith at the 40, 35, 30, has another block ahead of him, maybe one more man to beat at the 20. Bounced out of bounds at around the 14-yard line. And fantastic return, as it was the passing attack that's pretty much been working all game, and as a wise man once said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. 4:50 left to go. Andrews rolls out to his left. Pressure, he's got to tuck and run. Into the end zone, touchdown again. Their offensive firepower has just been too much. 2:45 left to go. Ball on the 25, fresh set it down, first and 10. Hand up to Contreras again. Contreras cuts back to the left side, still looking, still getting in the open field. He's going to gain more than what he needs to move the chains. Gain of 11 is going to be a first and 10. Grapevine sending 3. Andrews flushed out again. Jukes with a lane. Throws. Caught! Caught at the 45. Still marching through. Gets in the open field but gets pushed out of bounds. 8:50 remaining on the game clock here. Andrews looking to throw. Drops back. Has a man in the flat. Caught. Gain of 11. It gets out of bounds quickly. Pass is hauled in by G-Money Smith. Up north in the state of Oklahoma. Over at Bigsby. Second down now. Throw. It's complete to Mesh. Mesh with a lane. Mesh with a burst. End zone. Touchdown, Seguin. Man in motion. It's an up to Contreras. He's got a head of steam now at the 30. Now at the 40. 45. Bounced out of bounds right before getting to midfield. As a Grapevine helmet comes off. Polk on the option. Looking to pitch. He's going to keep it himself. Lateral. Has an open block. Get at the 45. Bounced out of bounds. No, he stayed in bounds. That's a gain of...
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please welcome the award-winning and state-recognized Roaring Band from Tigerland. The Tenaha High School Band is under the direction of Mr. Brian Fowler, Ms. Shannon Rios, and Mr. Joe Page. Color guard sponsor is Miss Melanie Duncan. This week's band students of the week are Carter Duncan, Brian Salonzo, and Shelby Eubank. The drum major of the band is Miss Jada Curtis. This summer, the Tenaha Player Band was named this year's 2A Texas Music Education Association State Honor Band and will be performing at the Wild Apollo Theater in San Antonio in correlation with the annual Texas Music Educators Association Convention in February. Additionally, the band was recently invited to the 78th annual Midwest Clinic held in Chicago and will perform in front of an international audience this December. The band is the only second small school in the 78 years of the clinic to be invited to perform. Please give these kids a round of applause. The band would like to thank the Tenaha Businessmen's Club, Conwood Telecom, Hustling the Tenaha, Farmers Bank, Bowlespeed, and Shelby County Texas Farm Bureau Insurance for their generous donations towards the band program. If you know of or know a business that would like to donate money for the trip, please reach out to our administration office. And now, the band will perform a portion of their 2024 UIL marching show titled Eclipsed by Glory. Written by Arnold DeMille Music, flute soloist is Miss Emily Hernandez. At this time, we are about to have the senior takeoff team, so again, once again, please use the buckets and donate to the seniors. Let's stand over and help.
Give it everything. At Pelche Key and Tyler, we're tough, never quits.
When my Marco's craving hits, it really hits. And with unlimited medium one-topping pizzas for $6.99 each, I can cover tonight's cravings and tomorrow's. Nice. Marco's. Pizza lovers, get it. Feast your eyes on Marco's Pepperoni Magnifico. Fresh dough made daily, topped with our signature sauce. 3 real cheeses, classic pepperoni, plus crispy cupped Old World pepperoni. Pure pepperoni perfection for just $9.99, but for a limited time only.
Give it everything. At Pelche Key and Tyler, we're tough, never quits. Pell Shaky and Tyler, we're tough, never quits.
When my Marco's craving hits, it really hits. And with unlimited medium one-topping pizzas for $6.99 each, I can cover tonight's cravings and tomorrow's. Nice. Marco's. Pizza lovers, get it. Feast your eyes on Marco's Pepperoni Magnifico. Fresh dough made daily, topped with our signature sauce. 3 real cheeses, classic pepperoni, plus crispy cupped Old World pepperoni. Pure pepperoni perfection for just $9.99, but for a limited time only.
Everything. At Pell Shaky and Tyler, we're tough, never quits.
Second half set to begin here from Raymond Jackson Stadium. Jared Jones, Mike McCary here for quarters number 3 and 4. One has been a game that if you tuned in, just now tuning in, or even if you sat with us since the very beginning of this broadcast, one thing has remained the same, Mike. It's all Tenaha, and we can probably expect much of the same now with a running clock for the remaining 2 quarters.
Yeah, and I imagine it's going to – they're trying to get out of here, no injuries, and, I mean, this game is beyond coming back to –
Understandably so. If your Tenaha return from Linden-Kildare to open up the second half isn't going to be very far. Return of about, let's say, 18 yards is going to be first down and 10. As we mentioned at the top of our break coming out, is going to be running clock like the rest of the way. Linden-Kildare, after this, will be hosting the Blue Devils of Celeste. Tenaha, as we mentioned before, a tougher task opening up to a Division II District 11 play against the very team that knocked them out of the postseason last year, 50-14 in regionals in the Love Lady Lions.
So I think with Love Lady, they played Garrison last night.
Indeed, they did.
And I think they came out limping. So, I mean, that could be a good thing for Tenaha. I mean, they really got tore up that game. They were up 14-0 on Garrison. Garrison scored 28 unanswered to win.
That's a rough game, no matter who you are, whether that be against a state championship level team or not. As that run on 1st and 10, no dice, no gain. It'll be 2nd down and 10 now. We have crossed. We're knocking on the door of elapsing 2 minutes in this second half of play. Our next broadcast for the very first time in Antler Sports Network history, it will be 6-man football action. Tyler Heat taking on the 2022 TAP State champion, Sentinels of Longview Christian Heritage. Kickoff from Longview, 7 p.m. on ASN 1. 4 seconds to get the snap off now for Linden-Kildare on this 2nd and 10. They do get it off in time. It's a handoff to Love. Love breaks one tackle, spins, gains around 4, still pushing forward for even more yards. What was going to be a gain of 2 turned out to be a gain of 5. It's going to be 3rd and medium after a big-time rush from Love, a kid who was in the band for Linden-Kildare at the half.
Very close to fumbling that ball.
Yeah, he was. Multiple.
That first broken tackle almost
could have
jarred it
been
loose. It would have been
disaster, to say the least. Now coming up with 9:47 left to go. After the 5-yard gain is 3rd and 5 to go. Important 3rd down here. Linden-Kildare back in the I formation now. 9.5 minutes left to go here.
And still starters for Tenaha in the game.
For sure. Keeping those big guns on the field. And it's a rush and a little bit of a broken hole by Stanley. Stanley's going to gain 7 and move the sticks. 1st down and 10 for Linden-Kildare. Seems like they're moving the football with a lot more efficiency, more than we definitely saw, at least in the first quarter. That second quarter, Mike, and you can attest to this, a much better showing by Linden-Kildare.
Oh, for sure, for sure. But with Tenaha leaving their star quarterback out there on defense in garbage time, that's just
it's iffy.
It's iffy.
I can definitely see where the cause for concern could be in that decision. 10 seconds on the play clock. 8:47 left to go in quarter number 3. Here in the city, I call Tenaha ISD home. It's a rush yet again. This time another gain of 5. Hosts of Tenaha Tigers on the tackle. As we wait for the bottom of the pile to see who came up with that run, guess who? It's Stanley yet again.
Look at this formation. And they got them with too many men on the field.
Yeah, they sure did. Flag is thrown. And could we see the turn of a new leaf here? I mean, it is a running clock, but 35, that's a pretty good amount of points if you're getting big-time plays like we've seen here, especially if you're forcing Tenaha to get struck by the penalty bug.
They're going with the hurry-up offense and catching them off guard. They're lackadaisical getting off the field on defense for...
Still waiting. Yep, it'll be an automatic 1st down, of course. Now for Linden-Kildare, we've seen the tush push. We've seen the I-form, Mike, that you brought up is easily their most efficient and probably needs to be their go-to formation on the offensive side of the ball.
For now, until they get this whatever scheme the new coach will be running. Linden-Kildare has really been dealt a bad hand this season.
Yeah, but as we see here, going against a Tenaha team that has playoff aspirations, playing them pretty well. It's a pitch to Love. Love bounces to the outside on right in the middle of the numbers. He's going to gain 2. 2nd down and 8 coming up.
So for being 2A Division II, both squads look like they have decent numbers.
Very solid numbers. At least enough for 2 full units of 11 and maybe some overflow there too. That's not something you would typically see, even though we're seeing both teams play a lot of Ironman athletes. Mike, as you brought up at the top of the half, how Kenny out for Tenaha is still on the field.
Yeah.
The starting quarterback. Kid that's already had a fantastic game so far. Through the air, Kenny 8 for 12, 183 yards, 2 touchdowns, longest of 49 yards. Hand off again to Love. Love isn't going to get very far. They'll give him a yard.
So the thing I like about Kenny that I saw in the first half was that he had the chance to run.
He's had plenty of opportunities.
He's staying in the pocket, throwing dimes, throwing touchdown passes, keeping his teammates involved. He could have easily scored with his legs.
Multiple times. But good to see that the quarterback for Tenaha, as we take another look at one of those massive plays that he had back in the second quarter, converting on a 3rd and a country mile. That replay via our Sports Scope second look. Proud replay provided the Antler Sports Network. 6 minutes flat remaining in this one. It's going to be a bubble to the outside again. A snatch standing into the flat and looking to the outside is Turner. Turner isn't going to get very far. He lost yardage there. That's going to be a massive loss.
Another backwards pass.
Yeah, another one after they already got dealt a bad hand from a backwards pass earlier in this game. That loss of 7 is going to make it 3rd. Well, 4th and 14 to go for Linden-Kildare. Obvious punting situation.
If he didn't catch that, then that probably would have been pretty bad. Tenaha was all over it.
We've already seen the backwards pass come back and strike the Linden-Kildare Tigers back in the earlier portions of this game, resulting in what ended up being 6 points for Tenaha.
Every time Linden-Kildare tries to throw, it's been bad.
Here's Kenny now. Kenny with a lane. Kenny with a burst. Has a block.
Touchdown.
At the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Tenaha as they get into the end zone again.
Now you got to think about pulling them.
"70-yard touchdown rush, but there is a flag down at around the 20.
It feels kind of dark. I couldn't see it.
It's right along the Linden-Kildare sideline. This is going to be interesting here as we take another look at that touchdown run. We're still awaiting to see what the penalty is going to be marked as. Multiple nods from the head referee to Tenaha head coach Marlon Birdsong. Still awaiting. Looks like it might be penalties against both teams. Not a
Touchdown's good.
Yep, the touchdown is there. Personal foul. Sportsmanlike conduct penalty called against Tenaha. It will be enforced on the kickoff, so the touchdown still stands. Our score.
It's their third.
Yeah, that's their third unsportsmanlike conduct penalty in this contest. First of the half. With 4 minutes left in this third period, it's 41-0, awaiting the PAT attempt.
These fouls is something that you don't want to go into district committing.
Looks like I have a stoppage right before the PAT attempt. Coach Jeremy Hogan stepping onto the field, having a quick word with the official. No idea what it is about or what it is for.
Even though this game's so lopsided, Tenaha can really take a lot from this game too, because it's really been messy for them.
Speaking of messy, here's a PAT attempt and immediately getting slammed, not getting very far, is Sandoval. And now another PAT opportunity empty, no flags thrown. The play will stand. 3:16 and counting left to go in the third. 41-0 from the ASN family of platforms. This is Texas High School football on ASN 1 and ASN Radio.
Give it everything. At Pelche Key and Tyler, we're tough, never quits.
Jared Jones, Mike McCary here with you up top high at Raymond Jackson Stadium, home of the Tenaha Tigers. Remember, the unsportsmanlike penalty assessed to the Tenaha Tigers right before that pretty much right as that touchdown occurred, being enforced on this kickoff. Mike, we talked about the schedules that both of these two teams have had. And recall back, West Sabine put 60-plus points on this Tenaha team.
They did. And Tenaha has taken their lumps early.
Indeed, they have. This ball looks like it might have came out temporarily on the return. Don't think. No officials have thrown down the black rag to signify a loss of possession. So it'll be 1st and 10 again for Linden-Kildare. They'll take over at the 41-yard line, their own 41-yard line.
So looking at their district, Tenaha has a really good chance of making the playoffs.
Indeed, they do. I mean, they're sitting in a district with, of course, the Alto Yellow Jackets and Mount Enterprise Wildcats currently sitting at the only two teams at 4-0. In the rest of that district, 3-1, 3-1, 2-2, 2-2, and Tenaha at 0-3. One game could surely change everything, as that run from Love is going to be good for 2, 2nd and 8.
Overton does look for real. Alto, they were winless last year and got the 4-0 start this year. Mount Enterprise, Overton, Lovelady.
Those might be the three.
I don't know what's going to happen there. I mean, either one of them.
Bit of a crapshoot, I guess you could say. 40 seconds remaining in this running clock. Third could possibly be the final play of this third quarter.
I do see Tenaha beating Cushing, Grapeland, and possibly Alto to make it.
That's a string of 3 wins. And as we've seen,
that's all you need.
That's exactly all you need. As all Linden-Kildare gets on this run is another chunk of 2 yards. So it's going to be 3rd and long in what is going to be the final play of this quarter.
Injured player.
Yep, there's an injured player down for both teams, but as they get assist to, we'll conclude the third. Back after this from the ASM family of platforms. This is Texas High School football.
Give it everything at Pelshey and Tyler. We're tough, never quits.
When my Marco's craving hits, it really hits. And with unlimited medium one-topping pizzas for $6.99 each, I can cover tonight's cravings and tomorrow's. Nice. Marco's. Pizza lovers, get it. Feast your eyes on Marco's Pepperoni Magnifico. Fresh dough made daily, topped with our signature sauce. 3 real cheeses, classic pepperoni, plus...
End of the quarter / injury timeout cut short as we go into the fourth. Linden-Kildare takes the football back on 3rd and 6. Love takes the handoff, doesn't get very far at all. No, they're going to say he lost a yard, Mike, and now that makes it 4th and 7. And now if you're Tenaha, you're simply looking at the scoreboard and knowing that the time is running out of the hourglass in this game.
Yeah, they're just waiting for it to tick away.
Understandably so, they pretty much dominated from top to bottom. As at the conclusion of this game, we'll try to get a word out of District Athletic Director D. Lewis. Always entertaining to see what he has to say at any point, whether it be win, lose, or draw. We'll have post-game stats and wrap things up here at the conclusion of this game. With 11 minutes, 15 seconds left to go, George is out there to punt again. He's been fantastic punting the football away, and another great kick, but it's just been the bounces, and I guess you can mark it down to the turf field, as this will be 1st down and 10 for Tenaha. Ball will be at the 26-yard line.
So Linden-Kildare, everybody goes into District 0-0, technically.
And that's pretty much the best way you can look at it, whether if you're Tenaha going into this game at 0-3, poised to go 1-3, or if you're Linden-Kildare, slowly but surely understanding that you're going to leave Tenaha tonight at 0-4.
So they got Celeste. That's their first game in District. Celeste is 0-4. So there's 1, 2. That's a big district, and only one team has 2 wins, and that's Cumbie Trojans.
Those Cumbie Trojans back over closer to ASN headquarters in the city of Tyler, defeating the Trojans of All Saints in a Trojan War.
The 6 other, the 6 other teams, there's 0 wins.
So it's wide open. For all intents and purposes, that district is wide open. Is anybody's district.
If they can get it together,
they can sneak into a playoff spot.
They can sneak in.
So going to hand it off again. Tenaha is run this clock down and try to run down this LK defense.
The backups are in for Tenaha now.
Yep, second unit, that last run made by Vega. It's going to be a gain of 3. Second down and 7 after the carry. Handoff again. Big rumbling at the 35. Pushing forward towards the 40. Knocked down at the 38-yard line. And that's going to be enough for a Tenaha first down. Move the chains again, Mike. This second unit already coming out punching LK's defense in the mouth.
And that was, who was that, 22?
Indeed, that's 22. Trying to see if we have a 22 on our roster. Don't think so. I believe that's Christian Vega, the sophomore running back / linebacker. Yep, that's exactly who that is. That is Vega. So with that, 9:07 left to go in this one. And even the Linden-Kildare band still getting it to it. Drop snap. They get it to Vega again. Vega breaks a tackle. Is still up. Breaks 2 more. Still fighting forward. Arguably 2 of the hardest or maybe 3 of the hardest fought yards I think I've ever seen. They're going to give him 3. Make it second down and 7. Vega pushing forward.
I would have that kid on first string.
Either way, he's looking like he's first string. Big time run. 8:40 left to go in this contest.
Tough to bring down.
Indeed, tougher than a $2 steak. 8.5 now. Ball on the 41-yard line. Tenaha up 41-0 now. Both teams with all 3 of their timeouts. However, don't think any of those are going to be used. Rolling out, looking, sailing it out of bounds.
That's got to be
that might
grounding.
be. Is it intentional grounding? There was no receiver close. He was out of the tackle box. At least I believe he is. No flag there. All righty. It's now after the incompletion, in air quotes, 3rd down and 7 to go at 8:05. Okay. All right. It's not a flag if they don't call it, huh?
Fine by me.
Won't see me complaining either, my friend. Ball still on the 41 after the incompletion. 4 out wide now. It's a handoff, the first carry of the game for Demarion Kelly. Check that, his second carry of the game. He's not going to get far at all. Linden-Kildare able to come up with the stop. And now after no gain, it's 4th and 7. This LK defense is showing some pretty good flashes in the pan against this Tenaha offensive second unit, forcing a 4 and out with 7.5 left to go in the 4th. Now looks like the punting unit coming back onto the field. Back deep to receive. We're still waiting to see who Linden-Kildare will send back there to return this punt. Don't see anyone. Possible returners could possibly be either Turner or Farrington. Don't know if Linden-Kildare thinks they're going to punt this thing away. It looks like we do have a whistle. Tenaha is going to talk things over. As Coach Birdsong and company take the timeout, we'll take 1, 2. 6:57 left to go in this one. Sand falling out of the hourglass, folks. 41-0 Tenaha on the Antler Sports Network. Tenaha Tigers taking a timeout, breaking their huddle any moment now. 6:57 left to go in this game. If you're a Tenaha Tigers fan here on Homecoming, fair to say, Mike McCary, you've had a pretty good evening. If you're on the other side for Linden-Kildare, as we see the cheerleaders and band keeping the crowd into it, I guess you could say maybe mixed feelings. Seems like they're having fun, but the boys on the field tonight, it's been a roughing. 41-0. Offense back onto the field. Looks like they are going to indeed try to punt this thing away. Linden-Kildare not having anyone specifically back deep, but the 2 farthest deep previously aforementioned Turner and Farrington. It's blocked! They blocked the punt! They fall on it. Looks like Linden-Kildare might have it. Well, that wasn't on my bingo card for tonight. We have a block punt by Linden-Kildare. Guess I don't need anybody back there to try to return the kid if they swat it down.
Yeah, they trying to block it.
And it worked, sending the full house and getting the key And some more history. That's the first blocked punt in ASN history. How about that?
Wow.
In 3 years of covering East Texas high school, including Dallas-Fort Worth area high school and college athletics and multiple other states, we've never seen a block punt until tonight. So, congratulations to the Linden-Kildare Tigers getting put in the ASN record books for whatever that's worth. 6:20 left to go after the block punt. On the carry, yet again, is going to be Stanley. Stanley is going to gain 3. Short gain on the run. Now with 6:05 left to go in this one. Check that. They're going to make that a gain of 4, making it 2nd and 6 to go. So we see head coach Jeremy Hogan. Mike, I know you probably might have applied for the job. Don't know. But if you were on that sideline, what do you think are some of the words you're expressing to your team on that sideline?
Well, I didn't, but
Just addressing a rumor, that's all.
well, take it a game at a time, really. Right now, I mean, it's really been a mess over there, which is unfortunate. And right now, it looks like some of the players want it, some of them don't. And I think if they start playing as a team, it would get better for them. But right now, they've got a ways to go.
I mean, they've gone through infant stage after infant stage almost every couple of days. So kudos to Linden-Kildare for coming out and for about a good entire quarter, if you can put all the time together, string together a pretty good game of football. I mean, we've seen 4.5s, we've seen block punts, we've seen big plays, we've seen great players. As here's Stanley on the handoff, immediately stuffed for no gain. On the hit for Tenaha is going to be number 52, Ciro Sandoval. That's his 4th TFL of the contest for him.
So I'm going to ask you this.
All right.
You see Linden-Kildare Division II, Region 3, District 9. You see all these teams here. Is it just bad football in that area?
No, I don't think so. I mean, honestly, just look across the state. If you go to Dallas, we saw a DeSoto team that many thought would be the only team to knock down either Duncanville or Galena Park North Shore as the top dog in the state of Texas, at least in the big schools. Just an hour northwest of us in New Chapel Hill. Just last night, we saw Carthage take down Chapel Hill in a battle of the number ones, and Linden-Kildare takes a timeout. We'll keep it here and continue our discussion. This has just been it's been a season out of the twilight zone. We've seen many schools, such as Longview, now they're at 2-2 after falling to the defending Louisiana State champions in Ruston. It's been a lot of everything. So honestly, it's not bad football. I can tell you that right now. Saw just a couple of years ago Clarksville taking on, I believe it was Gladewater in Jacksonville at a neutral site contest. It was a fantastic football game. That was a Gladewater team that finished that year sub 500, but still ended up knocking on the door of the postseason, because that's how a Texas football year can go. You never know, especially in big districts like this with 7, 8, almost 9 teams in the upper divisions or the upper classifications. Not necessarily bad football can give you an 0-3 record or an 0-4 record. It's just the luck or the lack thereof luck of the draw. And if you're at Tenaha, you played 3 fantastic teams. You played a Legion Fields team to begin the season at a neutral site. You played West Sabine, who we know very well and is able to put up points. And we have a Joaquin team that is arguably going to be battling for that 1 or 2 seed.
And that's a big rivalry right there, too.
Yeah, for sure.
Right down the road.
It's a good football throw, funnily enough. That's a big hit. Ball is on the ground, Mike, as you said. Yep, fumble. Tenaha falls on it. As we're trying to see a number who came up with it, that's going to be the lucky man, number 56, Jose Torres, the freshman, coming up with a big play on homecoming, giving Tenaha the football back, 1st and 10.
Linden-Kildare, they're lacking discipline. I mean, fundamentals not there. I mean, hold on to that ball.
Hang on to it.
I mean, something so simple that you could fix and get better.
But if you're Coach Jeremy Hogan, that's kind of, I guess you can say, the good side of this. You get to make this program in your image, to teach those things, and be responsible for one of the best turnarounds we might have seen in the history of this great sport.
And this is what pre-district is for.
Yep.
To fix this before you go into district. But they've got district coming up.
It's next week against Celeste at home, against the Blue Devils. But as we've been talking about all broadcast long with both of these districts, 3 wins might be able to get you snuck into a 4 spot. Or even 3, 4, 5 wins. I'd say 5 wins could guarantee you a spot in either one of these districts. 3 could get your foot in the door, but you're not necessarily into the dance yet. That might be able to get you the slipper, might be able to get a ticket, maybe a couple punch from the minibar or what have you, but not quite. So Linden-Kildare has a lot to work on, but there's still optimism.
We're back to Tenaha. They've got Lovelady.
Yeah, indeed they do.
At home.
At home, right here at Raymond Jackson Stadium. After that run is good for 6, making it 2nd down and 4. Both teams on different sides of the spectrum, but really the motto was still the same. It's still the same goal. Get to that 3-4 win mark and then just string together wins where you can. If you're Tenaha, good news is if you play a team that you're already familiar with relatively, as you said at the top of the broadcast, Mike, a Lovelady team that is returning 99% of their team, pretty much the exact same ball club. You get to avenge a loss. You get to take down the top dog early if you have a solid gain. Now breaking to the outside, moving the chain, still pushing, knocked out of bounds at around the 45-yard line. We'll mark it at let's call it the 44. Gain of 9 makes it 1st and 10 once more for Tenaha with 1:39 left in this one. We have an injury timeout on the field, and as he gets tended to, we'll break for this. From the ASM family of platforms, this is Texas High School football.
Give it everything. At Pelche Kia and Tyler, we're tough, never quits.
Oh, when my Marco's craving hits, it really hits. And with unlimited medium one-topping pizzas for $6.99 each, I can cover tonight's cravings and tomorrow's. Nice. Marco's. Pizza lovers, get it. Feast your eyes on Marco's Pepperoni Magnifico. Fresh dough made daily, topped with our signature sauce. 3 real cheeses, classic pepperoni, plus crispy cupped Old World pepperoni. Pure pepperoni perfection for just $9.99, but for a limited time only.
Give it everything. At Pelche Kia and Tyler, we're tough, never quits.
Final minute 39 in this one from Raymond Jackson Stadium. It has been all Tenaha. 41-0. After the injured Tenaha Tiger gets treated and escorted off of the field. Partial enders on power. Hope he's okay. 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. Jared Jones, Mike McCary, happy to be with you on this late Saturday night as the official knocking his rotator cuff out of place, trying to motion for the clock to roll in. There we go. 1.5 minutes left to go in this one. And Mike, we've been talking about it pretty much this entirety of this running 4th quarter. Just a district outlook for both of these teams. And before we had that break, we pretty much came to the same conclusion. It's a certain amount of wins you can get to, not until you can necessarily coast, but until you have more area to make mistakes. As that run from Tenaha is going to be a loss of 1, making it 2nd down and 11. Host of LK Tigers on the tackle. First one to get there is going to be Braden Turner, at least from our view, making it 2nd and 11. Linden-Kildare's band still playing loud and proud here. 53 seconds. Looks like we could possibly see one kneel down. 30-second differential between the game clock and the play clock. As now, 2nd and 11 here. Double back set and a tight end. Direct snap, handoff, juke up the B gap, still marching forward. Got to the original line of scrimmage. That's going to be a gain of 3 and now bring up a 3rd and medium. And maybe we might have just seen the very last play of this game. Nope, they don't have to snap it at all. It's 15 seconds on the game clock, 27 on the play clock, and both teams navigating towards the center of the field, and that will do it. They're going to let this one roll. Our final score from Tenaha. Dominant win on homecoming. Tenaha 41 at Linden-Kildare, nothing. When we come back, we'll try to get a word with head coach D. Lewis. We'll also take a look at a couple of post-game stats and wrap things up from Ray J. Again, Tenaha victorious in homecoming, 41-0. Post-game coverage after this. From the ASN family of platforms, this is high school football.
Give it everything. At Pelche Key and Tyler, we're tough, never quits.
When my Marco's craving hits, it really hits. And with unlimited medium one-topping pizzas for $6.99 each, I can cover tonight's cravings and tomorrow's. Nice. Marco's. Pizza lovers, get it. Feast your eyes on Marco's Pepperoni Magnifico. Fresh dough made daily, topped with our signature sauce. 3 real cheeses, classic pepperoni, plus crispy cupped Old World pepperoni. Pure pepperoni perfection for just $9.99, but for a limited time only.
Everything. At Pelche Key and Tyler, we're tough, never quits.
Tenaha taking home the big-time victory over Linden-Kildare here on homecoming. And with us via the Sports Scope hotline at the end of a fantastic win is athletic director and a man that, if you're familiar with the Antler Sports Network, you are very familiar with the man we are talking to post-game, Coach D. Lewis. Coach, it's been a heck of a game. You are right next to us the entire time. Your Tenaha Tigers were rolling against a team that has been through a bit of adversity, but you guys have been able to get out here, please the hometown fans. What was this win like? You were on the field at halftime. You saw some of the performances. You heard the coaching staff. How are emotions currently right now for the Tenaha Tigers?
Hey, man, emotions are high. You know, like kids been battling for 3 weeks, and we come out week 4 against Linden for homecoming. And the key that we've been telling our guys each week in and out is, number one, believe. Trust the process. The plan we put in place, to trust it. Our guys believe tonight. They came out, we put something together, and we played hard for 4 quarters.
Now, Coach, is a very important victory. It's the last game before not only do you have a tough district season, but against an opponent you guys are very familiar with in the Lovelady Lions. How much does this game help your team prepare for a tough test next week back here at home?
Hey, Lovelady is very good. We got to get back to work. Starting tonight is get back in there, start watching film, get ready for those guys next week. We open up district at home. So the key for us is get in, get to work, and continue to tell our guys trust the process and to continue to believe, not just in themselves, but as this whole team together.
Now, finally, Coach, I'll finish with this. I'm glad how you brought up watching film and getting ready for next week. What are some things you're looking forward to working on to see if you can use to your advantage against Lovelady back at home?
The key for us is watch this film from tonight, look at our mistakes, get them fixed, and get ready to go to work for next week. The key is the mistakes we made tonight, we got to fix those mistakes and be ready to go to work next week.
All right, Coach. Hate to keep you for any longer, but you presented head coach Marlon Birdsong with a little bit of a special treat for him at the end of this game. Kind of go into that and how special of a moment that was. Coach Lewis, can you hear us? Seems like we might have dropped Coach Lewis, but either way, the result remains the same. Tenaha taking the 41-0 victory over Linden-Kildare. We'll put a bow on tonight after this on the ASN family of platforms. This is Texas High School Football.
Give it everything at Pelche Key and Tyler. We're tough, never quits.
They're shutting off the lights here at Tenaha. Just the same way these Tigers have shut the lights out on Linden-Kildare on homecoming. Our final, 41-0. We thank everyone for joining us from our KBMN families down in Deep East, Texas. Mike McCary, our executive producer, Justin Jackson, our Houston ASN studios, statistician and director of analytics and data, Noah Raditz, and the rest of the fantastic Antler Sports Network crew. I'm Jared Jones saying so long from Tenaha. Once again, our final, Tenaha 41, Linden-Kildare 0. Until next time, so long, everybody.